Listener discretion is advised.
Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew.
I'm not modeling anymore for the two of you.
Loveline.
Hey, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, we're happy to have Andy Dick as our guest.
I'll model for the two of you.
Friend of the show. Yes, indeed, indeed. He has brought one of the bitches of the century with him to play tonight. So you have some music planned for us.
Tasty.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
And also Alan Isaacman, who was he Flint's attorney?
Yeah.
And also, is he representing Todd McCormick?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, it says something else on this piece of paper, but I guess you can have more than one attorney. Hey, Andy?
Yes.
I know you have ADD, but let's focus on what it is you're trying to plug for the good people so they can get the message.
Right. The Spitfire Tour.
That's right.
Spitfire Tour.
That's coming up at the House of Blues.
This Sunday.
May 7th.
That's this Sunday.
And music by Perry Farrell, and Spearhead and speakers include the one and only Andy Dick, Larry Flint, Bill Maher.
Michael Franti.
He's from Spearhead?
Yep.
Exene Cervanka from X, who's just a joy. Just that woman is a joy to be around.
You've had her on the show?
Yeah, she's such a joy. A joy, that's all.
Come on. That's part of her charm.
She's a joy. They should make a perfume after her. They really should. Oh, what a joy she is to be around. You don't want to miss her speaking. And David Michael, who's Todd's attorney, and I don't know if Alan is going to speak at this or not, but he's going to come in here and talk tonight. So Todd McCormick, for people who don't know, Todd McCormick has done this show once in the past, I believe.
A couple of times.
I think he's only been in here once. He may have done something else.
I've done other stuff with him. I've done other stuff with him.
Right. Todd McCormick is the guy who's supposed to have some kind of cancer, although it's not really quite cancer.
Right.
And to me, here's how the Todd McCormick story goes. The truth is somewhere in between. Should he be behind bars? No.
Yeah.
Is he a terminally ill cancer patient who needs marijuana to survive?
No.
But the truth is somewhere somewhere in between. I know, and he has to have a pot farm at his house. Todd McCormick is the guy who was all over the news. It was about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. He rented out. It's been a while. He rented out a big Bel Air mansion and just grew pot in every room of the house.
Yeah.
And then got busted. And then Woody Harrelson and a few other folks who were for legalization of marijuana got in his corner, and then he got out of jail, and then he spoke about it, and I guess he's back in the clink. Andy?
Well, the thing about him is you were coming down on him because he had a lot of pot. He was growing, and I think they charged him with being a dealer or something like that. But he was just giving it away to other cancer patients and people who have illnesses that were helped by ingesting or maybe smoking.
Right, but the way the law is if you have more than a certain amount, it's considered for distribution. If you have a joint,
right?
That's for
He was helping other people out. He wasn't selling it. He only had $800 in his account when they threw him in jail for 5 years. And also, he really does have cancer.
I think no.
Well, he does.
He has histiocytosis X. That's not cancer.
Well, doesn't sound good.
It's not cancer.
Doesn't sound good.
It's actually a benign condition of childhood. It's no longer been treated.
Todd McCormick's 38 and has been dying his whole life.
Yeah.
You were at Woodstock.
How was?
No, I was sober at the time.
You didn't burn anything?
No.
You didn't make love to anybody?
I wore a sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
Really? I'm sorry to hear that.
So we like Todd and we're supportive of his cause. But
he's so great.
He's a good guy. But we're trying to just sort out.
We're trying to get at the truth. Here's what the truth is, and here's the problem. Marijuana is not a killer. It's not evil, and it does not destroy lives. On the other hand, it is a drug.
And it is addictive.
You
for
will
some people.
get high, and there's a certain amount of people that smoke too much of it.
Yeah. Andy?
Does that mean?
One of them.
Does that mean it should be illegal? No. And here's the problem: the people on the right, the government, the Republicans, the people in power, They make a big deal over it, and they say you're going to go crazy and it's going to kill you, and it doesn't. And then the problem with the Todd McCormicks of the world and the Woody Harrelsons of the world is they go too far the other way. It's good for you. It cures everything. It should not only be legalized, but it should be put in vending machines at preschools. And now the truth is in between. The truth is it ain't going to kill you. It's not going to make you a genius. It's not going to cure your cancer. It should be legal, and we should have the choice to use it responsibly like any other substance that's legal, including alcohol and cigarettes and things like that. So I don't want to go too far with Todd McCormick, who's dying of cancer and needs a bong to live, and I don't want to go too far with this stuff should all be made illegal and everyone should be locked up, and I don't believe anybody should be locked up. On the other hand, I have friends, one in particular, my best friend, was locked up for drugs and it saved his life. Because he was killing himself.
I did not know I was your best friend.
I was going to say,
that is so sweet.
Let me ask you as an addict.
You are in the top 4,500, Andy. I can tell you right now. I call them the elite 4,500.
As an addict, though, does having drugs that you have been addicted to illegal help you?
Does having... What do you mean? Does having drugs?
Well,
what do you mean
I know that
one of the, say that again.
I'm ambivalent about legalization of certain drugs that are already illegal, and one of my main source of concern about legalization is that the fact that certain ones are illegal helps me structure the environment for people that become addicted to them, like pot in your case.
Right.
Does the fact that it's illegal help, or did it increase the probability that that was the drug you chose in the first place? Or is it not an issue?
It's not an issue, because I'll tell you that the government comes into play with me in that I crashed my car and I was, I had some drugs on me that were illegal. So I guess it did come into play in that way. But when I first smoked pot, when I started late, by the way. I smoked pot when I was
11.
No, I think I was like 18.
Anderson, do you have a tape of Andy's first experience with marijuana?
No.
Jesus Christ in heaven! Where has this been? Send me an ounce of this stuff.
That's how I felt when I first smoked it. I really, it had nothing to do. No.
But no, I'm wondering if the fact that it's illegal helped again structure the environment to keep you from being as likely to sort of go over to it.
No,
maybe
if it was legal. I'm thinking maybe if it was legal, I would have gotten through those days quicker and earlier at an earlier age.
Without having to hide it, no.
Yeah. Because it was a big, nasty secret.
No.
I remember being very afraid of some of my friends finding out.
Yeah, I'm kind of ready to get over it. Let's just legalize this thing and be done with it.
Yeah, we've been arguing over whether pot should be legal like idiots for the last 30 years.
I also
or so
think
in
the
this
next person that really comes out strongly down in favor of this, it could be like the president or senator. I mean, people are going to get behind that.
Somebody. In Vancouver, do they have pot bars? In Vancouver?
Amsterdam.
I don't know if they have those hash bars.
No.
But anyway, how long is Todd McCormick in for this time?
5 years.
Oh.
5 years. And that's just craziness.
No. Yeah,
crazy.
He'll get out sooner than that. Is he allowed to grow pot in prison?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know. They have drugs in there.
Right.
Jesus Christ, the one drug they need to bring into prison is weed. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you can get drugs in prison.
A lot less shivs and raping.
What's a shiv?
A shiv is like a makeshift knife you make out of a spoon.
Oh, great. Or what's worse is to be raped by a shiv, I guess.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Kat?
Yeah, hi.
You're 15.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, man. Well, about a week ago, I walked in my living room, and my next-door neighbor's younger son was jacking off my dog.
How old is the younger son?
Huh?
How old is the son?
13.
Boy, talk about low self-esteem. You know what I mean?
No.
You're giving the dog a hand job.
What did he say when he saw?
No, he didn't see me. I cracked the door open, I saw, and I was like shocked, so I closed it and walked out, and I was just like, oh my God.
Oh boy.
I just wanted to see the wet pink stick.
Was it your neighbor's?
It was my neighbor's son.
And he was doing his dog or your dog?
My dog.
Oh, your dog.
Yeah, because he's my friend, or my brother's.
I wonder why that dog kept going next door.
Did you say you're welcome? Did he say no? What? No, what am I saying? Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Andy, you had some interesting history with behavior. Yeah.
With dogs?
That's what I'm asking.
No. I had a friend.
Fire. You had fire.
I was a pyromaniac.
He rimmed a possum once. That I remember. That is...
Possums have leprosy.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
They have
So, yeah.
a lot of
They-
interesting...
They
That's
have
why-
leprosy.
We're
You can get
catching-
leprosy from
That's
a
what
possum.
Andy's psychiatrist told him when he heard about the incident. Anything to get the kid to stop. Hey,
My friend, I actually witnessed my friend masturbate and let his little chihuahua lick up the.
You see, I knew Andy had a story.
Poquero.
You see what I'm saying?
Poquero, come. What?
right. Okay.
Okay,
What?
so you see,
You can't
Andy-
say that.
Andy's done this.
No, I didn't do it. I
Hey.
watched it.
Hey, Cat.
Yeah?
Yeah, it didn't hurt the dog.
No?
I wouldn't be alone with that kid, though.
What am I supposed to do about it?
Just leave him alone.
Should
Really? I
she,
shouldn't
well,
say anything to
should she
him?
tell her parents?
Huh?
Nah.
Did the dog like it?
Does he have a sibling your age?
No.
Was the dog liking it? Just tell me.
I guess. I didn't really see. I didn't want to watch.
I would just stay away.
Right.
Stay away from this kid. That's the big thing.
Here's something we don't talk about on this show too much.
Is there anything we don't talk about?
This is the thing. There's about 95% of life where it's like, well, you should do this or you should do that. You should tell this person. You should alert that person. You shouldn't go over there. And there's about the 5% life of do nothing. This is a definite do nothing for me. Just move on.
Well, this was a...
Don't confront the kid. Don't tell your parents.
Yeah,
Don't
stay
talk
away.
to the dog. Just move on.
That dog is a gay homosexual.
That's right. Jeff,
Yeah,
you're 22.
yeah.
You're on with Andy Dick.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
What's the problem?
Me and my girlfriend been having unprotected sex for like 3 months now.
Why?
We're trying to get pregnant.
A marriage?
We're getting married June 24th.
Did we have this discussion, Adam?
Yeah.
Were they?
It's better to get married before you get pregnant. It just makes the wedding better.
Is there
people-
more of a problem coming up though?
Well, no, we just don't know why she's not getting pregnant.
It's only been 3 months.
Right.
What do you think? It happens magically, pow, immediately?
Well, her doctor said that like 2 weeks after her period, she's more fertile.
Yes.
Sometimes it does happen magically, pal.
Only when
Trust
only when
me.
you don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that takes a while typically. If you go for a year and have trouble still, you might want to see a fertility doctor about it at that point.
Hey, Jeff.
One condom broke.
Yeah, you want to. Here's how you can increase your chances. I'm serious. I've been doing this show for almost 5 years. Shut up.
Go ahead.
True. What's up with you? Stop. I'm going to cut you off the coffee, for Christ's
We
sake.
can't participate with you on these things?
Yeah.
Only you.
Is
huh?
it the Adam Carolla show?
But when someone says, here's how you're going to do something.
All right, go. Tell us.
Okay. All right. Now I'm the bad guy.
Now I'm the asshole.
Jeff,
Yeah.
you pull out a couple of your front teeth. Upper teeth is better. All right? Quit your job and take a condom, cut the end off, and wrap it around the base of your penis and your testicles when you're having sex. Okay?
Okay.
All right. That'll do it. And have a cousin and your sister move in with you. She'll be pregnant the next day. All right?
But Jeff,
All right.
there's all kinds of reasons that can impact on fertility. I don't know if you want me to list them, but just don't worry about it. It's only 3 months.
Brian,
Yes.
you're 19.
Yeah. I joined the Army about 8 months ago, and I had a pretty serious girlfriend for about 7 months when I left, and we broke up because I was leaving.
It's going to be
And
good.
when I went back over Christmas, my friend and her are dating, my best friend. And it's really awkward being around them for a couple reasons. One, because I'll be with them, and all of a sudden they'll go downstairs, and I won't see them for a while.
Yeah.
And two, well, I still have feelings for her, and it's hard to be around both of them at the same time.
Don't hang out.
Boring.
You can't be around both of them for a while.
No way.
So, I mean, but when I'm having my best friend, well, I don't talk to him pretty much anymore.
Yeah, that may be about it.
And he may not be your best friend anymore.
Well,
He may not have been, yeah.
And my friends talked to him about it, and he's pretty much said for me, forget about him.
For you to forget about him?
No, for my best friend told some of my other friends just that forget about me because, it's up to him.
All right. Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're saying,
Okay.
but I'm glad you're in the Army.
Yeah.
'Cause, they don't pay you to think, they pay you to shoot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, good. Listen, this is ex-girlfriend. I know you're hurting over it. We've all been there. She's gone. She's with an ex-boyfriend of
Right.
yours.
Next.
You're no longer friends with him.
He's a dick. She's a pain in the neck.
Give it a good 6 months. Maybe you can patch things up. I doubt it. This is it. All
Okay.
right? You find a new girl and you find new buddies.
New life. See, 19 is a good time to be developing a whole new sort of network of friends.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, Brian. Hey, listen, Drew was more miserable than you are at 19, believe me.
All right.
Believe me.
All right?
You were.
Oh,
Drew, why were you so miserable?
Did you ever smoke pot, Dr. Drew?
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
but not. Actually, it did so much nothing for me that I lived on a floor of guys that smoked pot just constantly.
Yeah.
And their position was I just didn't smoke enough pot. That's why. That's why. That's
what I always would say to people who didn't get high. You
They're
know,
like,
you
"You're not
need to
high
smoke
enough."
more. You
Yeah.
need to smoke
Like
more.
it only affects a certain biological set in a.
Is
certain,
that true?
Oh, absolutely.
Like it just does not affect you.
doesn't it's just
Really? Wow.
I'm into it.
You love it.
No, I, you
You're
know,
high now.
addicts love it. Addicts
I
love it.
love
Yeah,
it.
and
It
that
just
that and
sends
that
me into
experience of
heaven.
I love it is absolutely universal amongst people that are addicted to it, and they're addicted digitally. It's pow now.
Somebody told me yesterday, literally, that it has something to do with enzymes. That addicts' enzymes are different.
Well, the entire structure of the brain is different in addicts, and it's really about what are called intracytoplasmic messengers that
Whatever.
in the mesolimbic reward
I
system.
like it.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, I have almost, did you mention this? Almost a year.
really?
Yeah, on the 18th.
Congratulations.
1 year. Dr. Drew.
Good.
A year. Oh, my God. Okay. Scary.
Yeah, and you seem just as high to me. And I mean that as
best possible
take that
way.
as a compliment.
great.
It hasn't added or detracted anything from you whatsoever. You're the same old dick we love.
Right.
Susan,
Yeah.
you're 26.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
All righty.
What's up?
Hi.
Susan,
Oh, she probably thought that you meant she was like 26th in line.
No, I know. I'm 26 years old.
what's
Okay.
your question?
My question is, I've been on antidepressants for the past 2 months, and I've been seeing a therapist every week too, but my psychiatrist, after the first time I saw him, he told me that based on my history, in his opinion, I'd have to take antidepressants for the rest of my life.
What was the diagnosis he gave you?
Depression.
What drug?
That was it? Just depression?
Well, I guess major depression. 5 years ago when I was in college, I was on Zoloft for like
Yeah.
a year, and I was diagnosed with depression, and it's in my family and whatnot.
Is she not allowed to mention
I guess
the drug?
just from how I told him that I
Prozac.
felt that he thinks I'm always going to have to take antidepressants, and that disconcerts me.
That depresses you more.
Right, exactly.
Well, but
Then you
here-
have to take more.
You've already made the beginning of a case for this, which is you've tried to come off them before, weren't able to. You have a
Tried to what?
You've tried to come off them before and weren't able.
Yeah, and I did, and I felt okay for like the past 4 years. I mean, I felt like emotional a lot.
Susan,
Like,
let me repeat myself. You tried to come off them; it was unsuccessful.
right.
You have a strong family history of this, and those are lifelong histories. And I
no,
suspect,
it's not a lifelong history. I don't know.
and I suspect there's a lot more here than just depression. By the way,
Susan, you'd make a great trial attorney.
I'm going to
It
law
would,
school.
oh my God, I'm so glad because here's Susan. She's like, no, it's I don't know. You may be right. Ah, Christ, you're right. He's guilty. I killed myself. But no. She's like, Drew, give me the line. Give me the line about the you got off them.
you tried to get off antidepressants once and were unsuccessful.
No. Yeah.
You have
Oh,
strong
yeah.
family history.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me try
That's
it.
me.
Let me try it. Can I do that? Can I do an acting scene?
No, that was my scene.
Get it.
I see about
And
Susan's history,
hurt
'cause
him.
Andy
think-
Dick's going to
and
do a scene
scene.
from Hurly Burly later on in the evening. All right, so hey,
Susan.
Susan.
The other thing that would cause a psychiatrist, and again, I'm just trying to understand what would make him say that to you, is if there's some serious history of abuse or chaos in your family.
There's not.
That would lead him to believe that there's what might be called a personality problem, a personality disorder.
Also, Susan could have misread him.
Yeah.
Where she said, "Am I going to have to stay on these goddamn pills for the rest of my life?" And he said, "I don't know."
No, he said yes.
Probably. Yes,
No,
probably.
he said yes. In my opinion, you will take these for the rest of your life. And I couldn't really hear you, but did you say that there must have been abuse in my history?
No, I said I'm trying to figure out. Oh boy, we're back.
In fairness,
Wait.
in fairness to him, though, he only thinks you're going to live to 28.
I said I was.
I know.
I said I was trying to figure out what other things would cause a psychiatrist to tell you you need antidepressants or psychotropic medication your whole life, and that would be personality disorders, and those are real common in people who've had some very heavy traumas in childhood, abandonment, deaths.
Do you do street drugs?
I have.
Like, because that's the thing I know you don't mix, right?
Well,
you don't mix things.
The other way you end up.
That's when people go psychotic and kill themselves
the
or other
other way
people.
you end up antidepressant the rest of your life is take a bunch of LSD.
You're
That's
cutting
guaranteed.
out. I can't.
All right, listen. Boy, she is. Whenever someone calls the show and tries to make a case for something, they usually do a better job of making a case for the opposition. The more I talked to Susan, the more I thought, listen, not only do you need to be on these drugs, I'm going to get on some too when I'm talking to you. All right, so here's the deal, Susan. That's what I'd like to do, Drew. Can I do that? Can I have some Prozac, just 3 or 4 tablets I keep in my pocket at all times when I have to deal with the people I have to deal with all day? I just pop one. People that should be on them, maybe they're ignoring their medication, maybe they're not going to their therapist. What about me? Why don't I just medicate myself? Give me some of those.
Maybe that's not such a bad idea. Maybe not for that reason, but maybe it's not such a bad
Thank you, Drew.
idea.
I appreciate the comment. I will keep a Prozac or some sort of serotonin reuptake inhibitor pellet in my mouth, between my teeth in the back, like a Nazi war criminal with the cyanide tablet. And if I get,
and then when you run into me, you'll just
when I run into
it.
Andy, I just chomp down on it. All right. So, hey, Susan, here's what you can do: prove us, him, and everyone wrong.
Oh,
shut up!
It's dangerous.
Hold on. Take your medication for now. Do your therapy. Go to law school. Get your ass together. Give it a few years. Get your feet under you, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
You can prove everyone wrong then. Not tomorrow. Dan?
Yeah.
You're 20. What's up?
Yeah, I was just wondering, I have a couple warts on my hand, and I was wondering if those can spread to other areas.
As I understand, yes, other areas, but you're worrying about your genitalia, right?
Yeah.
And as I understand, as I understand, it can, but only
never does.
Yeah, it never does, and only certain types of virus can.
Every guy who ever had a wart on his hand would have it on his Johnson.
That's right.
I have a radical therapy you can do for warts.
Yeah.
No, really, it's not a joke. Food grade hydrogen peroxide baths.
What is food grade?
Means that you can ingest it, you can drink it, but you have to dilute it.
And
like you pour a whole bottle of it in your bath, and you take those baths for like 3 days.
Is this genital warts? I'm guessing.
Maybe even those, yeah. But
if it's
hand warts.
If it's a hand wart, why don't you just submerge your hand in a bowl of it while you're watching
you can
TV?
do that too. I read this book, The Cure for All Diseases.
Oh,
Did you ever read that, Hulda Clark?
No, baby.
What?
Oh,
I like
Andy.
it. I like it.
Andy.
Whatever. I like it.
All right.
We'll be right back.
It's a good book.
Holistic Andy, everybody. All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break. Andy Dick is here. Alan Isaacman, the attorney for...
I want to give a plug to my counselor, by the way.
Todd McCormick.
He's starting his own thing.
Okay.
Tony Lafarge.
Hey, Andy.
310.
Are you on your meds, buddy?
488.
Get out the DSM-4, Drew.
All
right, thank you very much.
0490.
We're going to take ourselves a quick break, and we'll be back with all that after this. Yep, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. This is Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. All right, Andy Dick is in the studio. He is here talking tonight about the Spitfire Tour, which is going to benefit Todd McCormick. He's the local guy who grew a ton of weed, got himself thrown in the can. He got out, and I think he's back in. And
Todd, not me.
Right. Alan Isaacman is here. Alan is going to be representing Todd McCormick. Also, he represents Larry Flint, and he's the guy who was portrayed by Ed Norton in The People versus Larry Flint. So he's been around, been in front of the Supreme Court, and is now back. Not in front of the Supreme Court, but back to argue on behalf of the Little Stone Man. What's going on there, Alan?
Nice to be here, Adam. I'm happy to be here and happy to be representing Todd, and I think he's a very sympathetic person to represent and is trying to fight a good battle here.
You know what?
Did you win an Oscar, Alan?
No, I didn't win an Oscar. I won a Supreme Court decision.
You know what I like about attorneys and politicians? They'll work your first name in, and nobody else does that. Like, they'll be up there and they'll go, Bert, I'm glad you asked me that. It's like something you learn when you win people over. There's something on the front of every book that says, call the guy by his first name.
Did you call me Andy? I didn't catch
No,
it.
we got Adam. Who's talking to Adam? Who gets you, Adam?
All right, we're going to shut Andy's mic in a
He didn't-
second.
What's your name again?
All right, but so Alan, explain the situation. Is Todd currently incarcerated?
Yes, he's currently incarcerated, and he's serving at this point a 5-year sentence that was imposed by the judge pursuant to a stipulated agreement. Todd agreed to the 5-year sentence in order to get a right to appeal the exclusion of his medical necessity defense from the trial that would have happened. And in other words, he had a choice. He could have gone to trial facing 3 charges of 10-year minimum mandatory penalties if he lost. And if he had gone to trial then, the judge had already ruled that he could not argue medical necessity or Proposition 215, the Compassionate Use Act, or anything like that.
Why? How can you do that? I mean, how can you predetermine you can't make a certain argument? I mean, I know it does go on, but this is the basis of his argument, of his innocence.
You're absolutely right about it. And what you have in this situation is you have federal charges in federal court, and on the other hand, you have a state initiative which is passed by an overwhelming majority of the people of California, which resulted in a law saying that people in California may possess and use marijuana on a doctor's recommendation or doctor's approval for medical needs.
Right.
The federal government doesn't recognize that law.
Right.
And there's a federal law, Controlled Substances Act, and this court interpreted the Controlled Substances Act as predominating over the state law and said that we don't care whether there's a medical necessity or not. That's not a viable defense, and you can't even raise it to the jury, and you can't even tell them why you say you were growing the marijuana.
It really just doesn't sound like a great system when you have an argument you'd like to make for your innocence, and the judge tells you in advance you can't use that argument when it's your only argument. But be that as it may,
was it hard doing scenes?
Here's my friend Andy Dick with a question.
Was it hard doing scenes with Courtney Love, because of her drinking and all, when you were doing...
Ed Norton played him.
Oh, right.
He wasn't,
I see. I got it.
Actually
he got an Oscar, though.
In the movie.
Did he? Did he get an Oscar?
I don't think he won an Oscar for that, but I don't know who won Best Supporting.
And I'm glad to see you out of. I'm glad to see you out of your wheelchair. That's
right.
Great.
Shut Andy Dick's mic off for not only tonight, but if he has a microphone anywhere else, I'd like that shut off as well on stage.
It's good to see you out of that wheelchair, Alan.
Thanks, Andy.
Hey, Alan, here's what I'm most interested in as a taxpayer,
Sure.
because this seems to be much ado about nothing. It really does, and it seems to be tying up a lot of people who get paid a lot an hour. And what does something like this cost? I mean, what does it cost the federal government?
Well,
do you have any idea?
When you say cost, there are, you can.
I know it just keeps going forever.
Forever, and you talk about the cost of incarceration, and you realize that most people that are in jail for drug-related offenses. You talk about the amount of law enforcement personnel that are dedicated to fighting drugs and to putting people in custody for drug-related matters. You talk about the people at home who are, have home invasion robberies and things like that in order to get drug money. I mean, where do you draw the line?
Well, I go through the roof when I think about how much, what percentage of crime is drug-motivated. And when I say that, I mean let's legalize it. See, people look at it as if we legalize drugs, we're going to have a bunch of crazed druggies running the street causing crime. But the reality is the crime comes with the legalization. You make booze illegal and you see what happens. Now we have the mafia. You make anything somebody wants illegal and they got to now break into your house and steal your stereo in order to buy it. If it was a tenth the price and available, obviously they don't need your stereo for that. But I know, and it's like counting grains of sand at the beach, and I can't even begin to go down that route. But what I'm saying is just the Todd McCormick case, for what it costs, for the judges, for the courts, for his representations, and all that kind of stuff, how much does something like that roughly cost us, the taxpayers?
Well, I don't think there's any question that if you put a fair value on the court's time and on the prosecutor's time, the expert witnesses who were involved in this case, and on the defense counsel time, you will find that it runs into at least the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right. That we're essentially throwing out the window, because Todd McCormick is 5'6". He goes about 125 pounds,
and he's the nicest guy ever.
He does not
he
pose
really
a threat to anybody, and I'm not interested in people who don't pose a threat to me or the rest of society.
I love Todd, and if he can hear us, he's in prison right now. I just want to say hi if he can hear us. Hi, Todd.
Well, you should.
We love you.
Understand one thing about this, and that is that Todd had a choice. He could have gone to trial, as I explained, or he could have pled guilty with waiving, that is, giving up the right to appeal, in which case there would not have been a specific sentence the judge had to impose. It could have been anywhere up from no time to 5 years in prison.
Right.
Or he could have pled guilty under the arrangement that was made with him and preserved his right to appeal on the basis of this medical necessity defense. But if he did that, he had to agree to a 5-year sentence.
But
he chose the last.
You guys are going to win this one quite easily because...
It's a big deal.
No.
It's a federal
What do you
case,
think?
right?
Federal
in
case.
state court, he'd win it. There's no such thing in the federal court.
He's still going to win it. He has a great representation.
Well, but this could be a big... It's the Harrison Act, really, that's the basis of all of our drug laws, isn't it? The Harrison Act of 1911 or
It
1992.
goes way
George
back,
Harrison?
but there's a controlled substances
Shut
act that
Andy's
was passed in
mic,
1911.
please.
Are you going to ask that be looked at as a because I think that's the thing that's happened. That is a draconian medieval document.
You know that I don't mean to interrupt you. That's true, but you know that your point is well taken. That marijuana is classified under the Controlled Substances Act the same as heroin. It's a Class 1 controlled substance, as opposed to cocaine, for example, which is a Class 2 controlled substance, which means that doctors, under certain circumstances, can prescribe that kind of thing.
Drew got me a kilo just last week. It's still in the trunk of my car, but if you guys need a quick powder or something, a little boost for the rest of the show.
Andy, come back here.
All right. Andy's trying to get in my trunk of my car with a popsicle stick in his teeth. Yeah.
No.
All right.
I'd go directly to jail. Do not pass go.
I'm sorry. So, Alan, when is the court date, and how confident are you?
Well, we don't have a court date.
I could pick up a community card chest piece.
Shut Andy's mic, please.
I'm relatively confident on the basis for our appeal. We already have 2 Ninth Circuit decisions which have recently come down in different contexts which recognize that medical necessity may be a viable defense. And I think the Ninth Circuit will probably rule the same way in our case, which will send it back down to the trial court.
What was Todd doing that got him back in prison? Was he growing as much as he was growing before? Was he just using? Did he violate his parole by just having any amount on him?
I think there was an auto act, and I think he was speeding or something in his car, and he happened to have some on him or something.
Well, he got his bond revoked because he was driving down a highway and was stopped by the highway patrol, and there was a suspicion that he had marijuana, and the highway patrol, and he had a little encounter, and then he ended up being brought back in front of the federal court because when you're on bond, you have to obey all laws, and one of the conditions of his release was that he not smoke marijuana.
And did he have a confrontation with the highway patrol guys?
Well, it's a confrontation in a sense. I mean, he didn't stick around, and they had to go after him again.
I see. I'll tell you one thing about this Todd McCormick you gotta love. For a guy who's been dying of cancer for the last 20 years, he moves pretty good. He gets around. He tries to outrun the cops. He's all over the talk show circuit. This guy's been dying of cancer for 25 years. Nobody lives a more active lifestyle. And I know that's because he... Please. You're lucky I'm not fighting against you. I get Drew right up there to tell you, listen, the guy's a hesher. Case closed.
I think he is energized. I think
he certainly
he's energized
does have
by his belief in his cause. I think he really is a believer in the virtues of what he represents.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree. It's the argument here isn't whether marijuana is good or evil. The argument is whether we have the choice as citizens of a free country to make our own goddamn minds up. And of course we do about 99% of everything else. Why not this? And if Todd McCormick thinks marijuana helps him, or he thinks he has cancer, if anyone thinks they have cancer and think marijuana helps them, then good. Smoke your head off. It's your business. That's it. If you can't pay your bills, if you can't pay your taxes, that's another story. But as long as you're paying your taxes and registering your car and not shooting anybody, then smoke all you want. Wow. And that's the way it is. I mean, it's the same with...
You met the other victimless crimes. You met a guy on an airplane. Remember wasn't that you riding about it?
Yeah. He gave me a book on victimless crimes. And if people really knew the numbers behind victimless crimes, not only drugs, but things like prostitution and other crimes, consensual crimes, where there's just no victim. If they knew the amount of money this government spends locking these people up, keeping them incarcerated, the judges, the bailiffs, the parole officers, the amount of time and the amount of violent criminals that have to be set free to make room for guys like Todd McCormick, who are going to be used like a bottle brush for some big black guy's anus. when he's in prison.
Ouch!
Thank you. Then they would be outraged. I mean, the reality is you want people in who are going to do harm to you, not to themselves. And even then, they're not doing harm to themselves. I mean, if some guy wants to bang a hooker, let him bang a hooker. If he wants to smoke a joint while he's banging the hooker, that is all his business. If he wants to hold me up at the ATM, if he wants to carjack me, if he wants to invade my home, then he needs to be incarcerated. And I certainly don't want that guy out on the street to make room for Todd McCormick. Yeah. That's the part that drives me insane. And I don't think people really know the true numbers behind this. And it is staggering. We touched on it just a little bit earlier in the evening. But, I mean, the percentages of people behind the money that it costs, what we could do with that money, it's staggering.
Wow. Well, you're absolutely right. And there's a lot of vested interest in maintaining the status quo and keeping it going, just because of that money that you're talking about.
Why? You mean you're talking about the DEA agents not wanting to be out of jobs?
There are a lot of people who have jobs based on that. If we didn't need as many prisons because of that, we wouldn't need as many prison guards. If we didn't, our border patrol and our DEA and our customs and all the people who spend so much time on the drug wars.
Right.
People that go down in these Latin American countries and all the aid that goes back and forth because of that.
Yeah.
It's a huge infrastructure based on this so-called drug war, and keeping drugs in the hands only of those people who are willing to break the law to engage in the sale of drugs. And it's just.
Yeah, there's a sort of fundamental layout of the whole thing that just doesn't work, and that's prohibition. It's the people you don't want to make the money, and the victims are the little people.
Edward Norton played you in The People versus Larry Flint, but like in Aaron Brockovich, did you like play a waiter or waitress in the...
No, actually, Aaron Brockovich's his boss is somebody who's on the other side of a case or two that I have right now.
Oh,
so we run into each other.
Wow. But did you have a small part in the movie?
Not Aaron Brockovich.
No, not that one.
He was.
Do you act at all?
No.
Like when you went up in front of the Supreme Court?
Right.
One time only?
One time only, that's right.
Most people never see the Supreme Court, ever.
40 to 50% of the population never gets to speak in front of the Supreme Court.
Was that hard? I just want to ask, was that kind of like acting?
Yes, it was kind of like
won.
acting, but it was fun. Yeah.
Not only do people not go up in front of them, but they never probably win, right, their case. Or someone has to win.
Hey, Andy?
Someone has to win.
Andy.
Yeah, there's always a winner, I guess.
Cut you off
There's one winner and one loser.
We got to take a little break. Alan
Isaacman
is sitting in. He's the attorney for Todd McCormick. He also played Norma Ray in the movie from the same name in the 1970s. Andy Dick is here. We're going to
I'm just listening in.
We're going to turn his mic on during the commercials as a courtesy to Andy and his management, but we'll be shutting it off when the show begins again in about 5 minutes.
Great.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Andy Dick is our guest tonight. Andy Dick is doing something this Sunday with his hip friends, among others. Perry Farrell, Spearhead's going to be there. Larry Flint, Bill Maher, Exene Cervenka. A joy. A joy to be around. I'd love to hear her speak.
Usually really Jello Biafra is amongst us.
Yeah, where is Jello?
He's in, the dead Kennedys. He is defending himself because in Washington, I think, with something with his band suing him.
I think Nabisco has a suit against him for.
No, I think it has something to do with
stealing his name,
with like a corporation wanting to use a Dead Kennedys song in an ad, and he didn't want to do that, and now the band's angry and.
Disney wants to use Holiday in Cambodia as part of their new summer campaign, and Jello's having none of it. What the hell kind of Dead Kennedys song does any corporation want to use?
I think it was a Levi. I think it was a Levi's ad.
Oh, everyone's getting hip. Also, Alan Isaacman is here tonight. He is an attorney. He's representing Todd McCormick. He was best known for being portrayed by Ed Norton in The People versus Larry Flint. He's Larry Flint's attorney, and that in itself seems like a full-time gig to me. I mean, That just, as an attorney, when Larry Flint signs on, that's got to be a dream gig.
I'll tell you.
You know you're set, right?
Because Ed Norton probably gets himself into a lot of scrapes. So you probably have your hands full.
All right, let's shut Andy's mic again. Thank you. How much of your free time is spent on Larry Flint and his various debacles?
Well, Larry's been a very active individual, and he's a successful businessman, and I get.
He's been a very active lawbreaker.
I get a lot of his litigation matters and other legal matters, and it's been fun because they've been interesting over the years.
Yeah, and when you represent Larry Flint, it seems like, at least from seeing the movie, he's not the kind of guy who sort of sits back and lets you do the driving.
He does a lot of sitting.
Well, yes, he sits back and does the rolling. But what I'm saying is
I made the lawyer laugh.
There must be times when you've said to Larry, "Listen, I'm the one with the degree. I'm the one who passed the bar. Quiet down and let me do the talking."
Well, you know, he's as I said, he's a smart individual, and he knows when you get in the courtroom that he picks a lawyer he's got confidence in, and then he lets the lawyer handle the legal work, and that's what I do. I mean, he doesn't run the case in the courtroom. He doesn't try to. If he has suggestions, he'll raise them, and he always has, good ideas. But he doesn't try to tell me how to, run a case, just like I don't tell him how to publish a magazine.
But you guys did have, at least according to the People versus Larry Flint, an adversarial relationship at certain times in your relationship. I mean, there are times when you told him, like, sit down and shut up, and he mouthed off anyway. Did that really go on?
Well, it didn't go on exactly like it was portrayed in the movie, but there were times when he did want to represent himself back in the early 80s, and the court would appoint me to represent him in those situations. And
how long did he go out with Courtney Love?
I'm not at liberty to say, Andy. Thanks.
All right, so Alan has his work cut out for him with Todd McCormick, whose court date has not been set yet.
Also, by the way,
the appeal's not been set. That's correct.
Right.
He is part of the Spitfire tour. I don't know if you know that. He's usually on tour with us, speaking about all of this.
Alan.
Todd.
No, Todd.
Yes.
Yeah, Todd is, and that's and now we're all speaking about him.
Was that tour, Adam, that we followed down at Clemson?
Yes, I think we did. We showed up at the University of Clemson to do a little speaking engagement. We asked them who the last people that spoke at this engagement was, at the university was, and they said it was a Spitfire tour, and basically they just
If you can't say anything nice, do not say anything at all.
I'm gonna say 3 words: smoke pot, rape. Those are the three words that come to mind when I hear. Just to hear them tell it. That's all. It's just like a van full of stoners pulled up and tried to nail every co-ed into place.
That's not true. You're thinking of the Andy Dick Circus of Freaks 1998 tour.
That I could be confused.
Probably.
All right. So let's see. Well, actually, geez, it's time to go to break again. Drew, you want to say anything? Let me ask. We
love you, Todd McCormick.
Since we have an attorney in here, let me shift gears for a second. Alan, Drew and I get paid the same amount of money for doing this show. And just your observation of what is going on in the last hour of the show. Would you say that's fair that we split it
really
right down the middle?
That I don't make more, isn't it?
I think
absurd.
I think it's very unfair in that you're both really highly underpaid.
That's a good. But in the NFL, hypothetical question: who gets paid more, the quarterback or the guy who does the long snaps for the punts? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, and I don't know anything about who gets paid more here. And of course, Dr. Drew hasn't been speaking up on this, so I don't know if he agrees with you or not.
The silence is deafening. We get paid the same, and I believe that's a grave miscarriage of justice.
I get nothing.
Well, do you want to put it all out on the table exactly how much we're talking about here, and maybe we can negotiate an increase somewhere?
I don't want to get paid more. Don't get me wrong. I want Drew to get paid less. That's my angle on this whole thing.
Bull.
All right, we're going to take a little break. Alan, thank you for dropping in and filling us in on the Todd McCormick case. Andy Dick's mic will be turned back on, and he'll bring in a couple of the bitches of the century, and we're going to hear some music after this. Yeah, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. We like to call him the silent one. He doesn't talk much, but he doesn't do much either. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Thank God he has his computer to keep him company. Sorry for inconveniencing you, Drew, with the show.
Hey, well, I'm having anal sex with my boyfriend.
Okay, Drew. The mic is on, buddy. I know you're not used to it.
What happened there?
Andy Dick is our guest tonight. You can find him at the House of Blues coming up this Sunday for the Spitfire Tour, raising money for a drug addict. Now, Jeff Harris and Andrew Sherman are both here. A couple. Well, now is Jeff? Are you one of the bitches?
He's an official bitch of the century. Yep.
Official bitch. Your head. Okay.
Last time I checked.
And Andrew, of course, is a veteran bitch.
How you doing?
And we're going to hear something from Andy. Now, Andy, you got a couple numbers worked up for the House of Blues this Sunday.
Right.
All right. And what are you going to do for us tonight?
Nothing that we're going to be doing on that tour.
Okay.
Something different.
So if we hate...
No, because we only do 2 songs on that tour, so if I did them now, you wouldn't come on Sunday. So we're going to do something else from our show at the Mint.
All right.
Which we do every Sunday also.
Folks, if you're listening and you hate this song, you can look forward to not hearing it on Sunday. Is that what you're saying, Andy?
Exactly.
All right.
We're just a small portion of the Spitfire tour. There's a lot of fun.
Well, you got Larry Flint, Bill Maher, Maxine Cervenka, Joy.
It's
joy.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Absolute joy.
Crazy.
She's a joy to be around.
Just because she had one bad night with
I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm saying the woman is a joy. A joy to be with.
Okay. Anyways, this song that we're going to do was inspired by my friend here, Andrew Sherman, the only Jew in the band, said to me, do you realize that you drag your feet when you walk? And me, the sharp wit that I am, without skipping a beat, I said, that's because I'm sick of walking.
Yeah.
Isn't that sweet? Then I went home and I wrote a song.
Okay. And
go.
here it is.
Go.
Andy Dick, everybody. Jeff Harris and Andrew Sherman. An inspired version, Andy.
Thank you.
I've heard the song before, but never as inspired as that.
Sweet.
It always scares me a little bit when Andy sings.
You should come to the live show. You'll be frightened.
I saw him strike one of the band members once.
Well, he did have it coming. I think he dropped a chord or something.
He's
but
mellowing out though in his favor.
Oh yeah,
I am.
Yeah, Andrew, he hasn't hit you in a while. He hasn't given you a dead leg.
Just now he did, but that was
okay.
I hit them daily.
That was a love tap. Yeah, I should come to the show, Andy, but about every 3 weeks you come in here and play. So I figure.
But we only play the songs here that we can't. That we can't wait.
Well, you play
that we can play, yeah. Because at the show we have there's bits. It's not just music. There's these bits that will frighten you. Even if I describe them to you, you will still be frightened.
But I'm scared now.
Well, but you should come because it is fun. It really is. People love it. And we get fun people. You know who came 2 weeks ago? Well, none of us know her. Julia Stiles from 10 Things I Hate About You. She just showed up.
Did she sit in?
No.
She sat down.
She sat down and watched.
All right. And where are you on Sunday nights?
The Mint.
That's right.
The Mint.
8:30. I gave you a good plug.
Yeah, you did that. Thank you.
Did you hear that last time we spoke?
Yeah. Well, and it helped. You know, people are coming, like Julia effing Stiles.
Well, listen, you should have a following, Andy. You really should.
Thanks.
All right. Let's hop back on the phones and speak to Carl, who's 16. Carl?
Hey, Adam.
Hey.
I just want to let you know before we get started that you're going to have an intelligent conversation with me.
A what?
Thank you.
Okay.
Because I know you had a difficult night last night with the people.
I did.
Who was it last night?
People.
Last night,
everybody.
Yeah, everybody gave him crap.
Yeah, I had a rough night.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm back. What's up, Carl?
All right. My problem is I'm 16. I'm 5'11". I'm 140 pounds. I'm a good-looking guy. I'm attractive. But, I can't get any girls, no matter how hard I don't even try hard. And, you know how you say you got to get your crap together? These guys, they got to get their stuff together.
Yeah.
And the ladies will follow. Well, I have my stuff together. I get straight A's.
Yeah.
I hang out with friends. I'm not a dork.
That rule doesn't apply in high school.
Yeah, that's by crap together, he means when you're 24.
You being part of the speech and debate, having straight A's in the Madrinas Escuderos Club is not going to get you tail.
Dude, I'm not in that. I'm not in any of that.
Okay, good. It's not going to get you tail in high school. Later on in life, it will translate into tail because you'll take those good grades, you'll go to college, you'll become an attorney, you'll become a doctor, you'll get a Porsche, you'll get one of those members-only jackets, and that's when the chicks will start falling at your feet. Right now, you're on the long-term plan, Carl.
Yeah.
Here's the deal with poontang, as far as I can tell. You either get some in high school or you get some later.
What do you mean? It's not both.
It's not usually both, and it can be you don't get any ever.
Oh, crap.
But if you're a good... But wait a minute, though, Carl. If you're a good-looking guy and you're getting good grades, you're on the later plan. You've put it down... With your grades, you've put a down payment on poontang.
Okay.
You understand?
So which is better, though, now or later?
Later. Later's better. Later.
Really?
Yes.
Because, like, I hang out with my friends, you know, and, like, they, like, they get all the girls, all the good-looking ones, and then, like, I have to, like, put up with their immature, ugly friends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just totally not interested.
Well, listen, you got to start somewhere, Carl.
Yeah, I know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's
I know.
one hot girl and then, like, 3 ugly ones.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's tough. I mean, look at me. I got no tail in high school, but look at me now. I barely get any tail. But that's still not no tail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you got $1 million.
Yes, I'm literally a millionaire.
Literally.
Thank you, Carl.
Yeah.
I was one of the few guys in high school. I got so little trim that I actually owed tail. Like, there's a lot of guys who just don't get laid. I owed a BJ. I was in the hole. I was overdrawn for BJs. You don't find guys that go subterranean that way. Usually they just bottom out, but I tunneled. I really did. I couldn't get anything in high school.
You're speaking look at these bongo drums.
Yeah.
These are like bongo drums.
Yeah, those are
called
serious.
congas.
They're like cartoon bongos.
They're congas.
It's the one Desi Lou played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff, you get a certain amount of tail just from toting those drums around in your truck, right?
I was kind of feeling lucky after what you said. It wasn't too long ago that I graduated high school, and
Oh, it wasn't?
I didn't get any tail.
Oh, all right. Well, you're due for a payday soon, brother.
So I'm feeling good about it actually at this point.
Well, you grew your hair out.
How old are you,
Got the
by the
soul
way?
patch.
22.
You're 22.
All right, you're due for some tail.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, believe me, yeah.
It's on its way, I think.
Lee,
Yes,
you're 25.
yes.
What's up?
I had a dream the other night about my babysitter.
The babysitter from when you were a child?
No, babysitter, my children's babysitter. A sexual dream about her.
Are you married?
Yes,
Everything going okay?
yes.
How old is the babysitter?
18.
Mm-hmm. And she's attractive female?
Yeah, she's a cute girl.
But dreams are fine. I think a couple weeks ago I had a weird dream about not even an animal that you would see on this earth. It was like a creature.
Yeah.
And it was a sexual dream about some creature.
Andy, please.
But there's nothing I can do about that because I can't even find that creature if I look for it. But I'm just saying dreams, I'm very serious too. That dreams are okay, right? Dreams are okay. It doesn't mean you're a lesbian.
Andy cornholed a unicorn. He told me during the break. Oh, I think he said Pegasus, actually.
Oh, God!
All right.
I mounted a Pegasus.
Read a
I
dream.
cornholed it. Oh, no.
Got the right end.
Oh, no.
Hey, Lee.
Yes.
Now, here's the deal. You dreaming about this is not a problem.
Right.
You worried that you dreamt about it is a problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because we all dream about whatever, and we never think about it. We don't worry about it. But if you feel like, hey, maybe there is something here, maybe you do have some lesbian feelings or tendencies, then maybe it is something to talk about. Do you feel that way?
I never did before. But
Do you feel that way now?
I've thought about it now, yes.
It's okay if you do.
So
Let me
you feel
tell
like that is some sort of burgeoning feeling that is coming forth.
Right.
Okay.
It was real. It wasn't just, oh, well, it wasn't that a funny dream.
Right. I'm going to do the speaking for Lee since she has difficulty. Do you have a vagina in your mouth now, Lee, or can you talk?
I can talk.
I see. All right. So, hey,
Oh,
Lee.
look, a winged horse.
All right.
Come here, buddy.
Lee? Let me. Lee.
It flies away. With my tongue stuck in its butt. I'm hanging from it with my tongue.
Where you going, baby? Oh, you gotta pick Hercules up from Mount Olympus? Yeah, but that's not for another half hour. Come here. Hey, don't be uptight. All right, Lee.
Yeah.
You got kids.
Yes.
You're married.
Uh-huh.
Focus on that.
Yeah.
If you're having some difficulty in your marriage, which maybe you are, and maybe that's what's causing you to look this other direction, then look back at the marriage and work on that.
Right?
Okay.
All right, Lee?
Be a good mom.
All right, thanks.
Good
I
mom.
mean,
God
just
bless
focus
you.
on, yeah.
There you go. God bless and enjoy. Joe?
I'm being serious.
Joe?
Joe's asleep.
Joe's been on hold for 97 minutes.
Joe, wake up!
Andy, hold on.
Yeah, I can hear the breathing.
He's totally asleep.
Yeah.
Wake up, Joe. It's me, Lucifer.
I guess he really enjoyed that last Andy Dick song.
Thanks a lot.
No, he probably passed out.
Well, it put him to sleep
hours
in a
before
good
that.
way.
Yeah.
In a good way. It's a
Yeah,
very
he's-
relaxing song.
He's banging a Pegasus right now, Mr. N. All right. We'll
Come here, boy.
put Joe
Come here, boy.
back on hold. Sandy,
Yeah.
you're 20.
Uh-huh.
What's up?
Okay.
If you married me, you'd be Sandy Dick.
That would be
Delicious.
nice.
Delicious.
Anyways, I
Anywho.
I have like dreams and like fantasies of like guys way older than me like taking advantage of me, and that's about the only guys I have sex with are guys like in their late 30s, early 40s.
Give me your number. I need to talk to you.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, when we're on hold, I'll give you my
Right.
number.
I did that one time, and I did that. Some girl
Off the
really
radio?
wanted to talk to me. Remember when I was here, and
Yeah.
and I went in the other room and I said hi, and somehow it came out that she weighed over 300 pounds.
Oh, I don't weigh that much. I'm
God.
sorry.
What was that?
Hey, Sandy, where's your dad?
At home?
Do you love him?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Kind of?
No, I do.
What's wrong with him?
Nothing's wrong with
20.
him. I mean, he was a recovering alcoholic, but that was before I was born.
He went into recovery before you were born.
Uh-huh.
How's his recovery going?
Good.
So he was good. He was not drunk while you were growing up with him.
That's right.
And he was a good father to you?
Yeah.
He didn't neglect you?
Nuh-uh.
Didn't cheat on your mom?
Do you know what neglect just means? Like not really being there a lot.
No, he was he was there for
He took
me.
you out a lot. He took you out,
Yeah.
played with you, and all
Didn't
that.
cheat on your mom?
Huh?
Did you cheat on your mom?
Uh-uh.
All right. Well, then stop humiliating him by banging these older folks.
No, I just...
I mean, that's my answer. Listen, most women, younger women who go out and hook up with guys that are quite a bit older than they are, it's a daddy thing.
Yeah,
And there's
that's why I'm calling you.
And there's
'cause it's
issues with
not.
daddy, but you have no issues
According
with
to
your
you,
dad.
that everything's perfect there.
Well, like, the dreams I have and stuff, it's like when I was younger, it's like me being younger and some older guy taking advantage of me.
Did that ever actually happen to you when you were a little kid?
No, I don't, not that I remember.
All right. Well, then what are you going to do? Here's the point. You're doing something, but you have no motive for doing it, according to you.
Then stop.
Then you can stop.
Right.
It's easy to stop stuff. It's like saying, I'm doing a drug, but I'm not hooked on it.
I
I'm
hate
not
it.
attached to it.
Does nothing for me.
And there's no reason I should be doing it, and I really want to stop. Then feel free to stop. All right. We know there's more,
And
but
by the way, that's
I ain't
also
getting
called
to it.
denial. That's the other...
Thank you. Brian?
Yeah.
You're 19.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to call Mayonnaise. You're a millionaire god that rocks, dude. You're a god.
Thank you.
I just
That's
wanted
my
to let
main
you know.
mayonnaise.
That's right.
That's Snoop Dogg. Andy, my rap name is Mayonnaise.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mayonnaise.
Andy Dick.
Nice.
I
Hey.
love that song about Chris Kattan.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Ooh,
you.
I
It's, so, it's evil.
I wonder if you're going to sing that.
It's so angry. I will if you want me to. But.
I
No, the
I just wanted to
engineer
call
says can't.
Are you? Hello?
Yes. He can't handle on the...
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to call up and commend you guys on putting up with all the ego tards that call up here every night.
Ego tards.
I don't know if you guys remember because you get so many calls, but that kid that called up that one night and he said, what did he say? He said he was in a school bathroom and some kid went in there and tried to rape him and then wiped his ass before he raped you. You remember that, Adam?
Yes, I remember it vividly.
I lost it, man. I lost it, but I had to call up and commend you guys on putting up with all the morons that call up there, man. You guys are great.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
It's not.
Brian.
It's not that we put up with them as much as we're locked in this goddamn room for 2 hours and we don't have a choice.
Oh, my gosh. You guys are right up, man. You're great.
All right, Brian. What's your question?
I don't even have a question.
Oh, all
I
right.
just want to call and commend you guys. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Keep listening and write a letter to your local affiliate.
Can we hear a little mayonnaise? Oh, why do you do that to me? I have to go to the bathroom, and what are they doing? Why are they doing that? Are we going to take a break? Real quick, quick.
Yeah, we are going to take a little pee break. Yeah, that's a very interesting angle. All right. Let's hear, where's Snoop Dogg, though?
Can we hear mayonnaise?
That's my main mayonnaise.
That was really him?
Yep.
Who else could that be?
He heard you?
That's Snoop.
He's here.
He heard you do mayonnaise?
Yeah, he was in here, and I told him I wanted to be called mayonnaise.
Oh, you made up the name?
But you don't have any
I didn't realize
singles.
that. I
Do
thought
you have a
that's-
song yet?
I just forced Snoop to call me mayonnaise, if
I
you
thought
really
he
want to
goofed
know what the
around
truth is.
Like, who was the...
Here's why mayonnaise is great. It has the word man, and you can replace an S with a Z, which rappers love to do. They love to swap out those letters, especially when there's a Z to be had. Also, it's white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The white rapper, mayonnaise.
And the mayonnaise has multiple meanings when it comes to Adam and his habits.
Creamy.
You know, my
and your music is creamy.
my French buddy is Dijonnaise. All right, thank
I
you.
thought your brother's ranch.
All right, brother, you're going to get some ranch on you before the night is through. We're going to take a little break. Andy and I are going to go to the bathroom and do the swords thing, right, Andy?
Let's do it. I'm going to beat you.
And we'll be back after this. It's Loveline. You know, one thing I never get used to doing this show is
What's that, Adam?
how the guests will speak mere seconds before my mic heats up when we're coming back from break. Sometimes we don't talk that much, but here's what I'm, and I know, Andy, don't take this as any kind of personal attack. Really don't, because everybody does this, and Drew, you'll back me up on this because you do it as well, and you actually encourage it in the guests. But a guest will sit here sort of silently. There won't be much conversation, maybe a little back and forth, and then all of a sudden the music will start swelling. I'll put the earphones on. I'll pick the microphone up. I'll put it against my mouth, and I'll see the guests, and they'll have a question for me. And they'll say, hey, how's about, where do you guys park when you guys do the show? And I think to myself, what is it exactly they're thinking is going on? I mean, they know we're doing a radio show. They know there's little commercial breaks, and obviously they see this as the time that we're going back to doing the show. Do they think I'm going to give an answer? Not you, Andy.
Right,
You're
I don't
golden.
do
But Drew, how often does that happen, that somebody asks a question or makes a statement or has sort of proclamation seconds before it is time to speak?
Most nights.
Most nights, and while the music is swelling, the headphones have been put back up, and the microphone's been brought to the mouth. Does it usually make a difference?
It's a nerves
What
thing.
is that?
A nerves thing, probably.
The funniest
People are
thing
nervous.
is it usually interrupts a good story, but that's all right. The guests usually just keep rolling on. You'll hear us talking into the break. Andy Dick is our guest tonight. Andy Dick can be found Sunday night, this coming Sunday night, at the House of Blues, raising money for Todd McCormick, who's in jail for pot again. You can get some tickets and go out there and check it out. Larry Flint will be there.
Perry Farrell.
Bill Maher.
Michael Franti from Spearhead. Exene from X.
Cervanka Joy.
Joy. I'm sorry.
Absolute joy.
And,
Absolute joy to be around.
Larry Flint's attorney, who is Todd McCormick's attorney.
He's not a joy, but Exene Cervanka?
No,
Joy.
someone's going to do it.
They're raising money for Todd McCormick. Also, you can find Andy Dick every Sunday night with his Bitches of the Century over at the Mint.
On Pico and Crescent Heights.
At 8:30, doing their show. And it's really a who's who of celebrities, Hollywood celebrities, A-list that shows up to these
Nick
things.
Nolte has been known to stop by.
Really?
Seriously, he came twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think it's a coincidence?
Well, he's dating somebody in the band, so to speak. No, she's not in the band. She does a couple songs that...
I see.
One song that I wrote and one song that she wrote.
How old is she, by the way?
14. 12.
I see. All right.
No.
Let's split the difference, call it 13. All right, we're going to hop back
it's Vicki Lewis.
on the phone.
Vicki Lewis from News Radio. She's
she was in Mama's Family.
Broadway's Vicki Lewis. No, she was on News Radio. She is a showstopper.
Well, who am I thinking of? Oh, Vicki Lawrence. That's right.
Yeah.
She sung the night the lights went out in Georgia, didn't she?
No.
Wasn't that her
did
big
she?
song?
Did
she was
she?
on the Carol Burnett show.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Vicki Lewis, the redhead from News Radio.
Yeah, that's different. Totally different. What's going on with that News Radio? Have they canceled
It's
it yet?
over.
That's
It's been over a year.
All right.
Oops.
Damn.
Yeah, well, it lives on in syndication.
Mm-hmm.
You make a lot of money from that?
No.
Why
No,
not?
you don't. You just don't. If you're the creator of the show, I think you make millions, but
I see.
Actors just make a couple thousand.
All right.
Not per episode, just in general.
Really?
Seriously, it's not much money.
That's a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Liam.
Hey, fellas.
Not that you deserve that much. Liam, you're 25.
Thanks.
Yeah, hi. This is really an honor for me. I have so much respect for you guys, believe it or not, except Andy-Dick.
Oh, listen.
Thank you.
Andy,
what is that supposed to mean?
Only I'm allowed to insult Andy
Yeah,
Dick.
why would you say that? And what is it
Also,
supposed to mean?
we need to give people's courses
I
in
wanna
this
know what
country
it
on
means.
how to compliment people. Like,
What does
I really
it
admire
mean?
you guys, believe it or not.
I'm
As if
sorry I got
anybody
it
would.
wrong, but it's just that you tend to distrust so many guys. But I really do admire Drew so much for what you do. I had such a difficult childhood, including molestations and stuff like that, and to hear you talk about it, and I think educate people that it goes on is so very important. I just have a great amount of admiration for you and for Adam's sense of humor.
Well, thank you. You see what happens?
I really
when you...
meant it, actually.
Thank you.
But I want to know what's up. Well, what's your problem with me?
I was just joking.
Oh, okay, because I'm very sensitive.
Yeah, I know.
Especially in sobriety.
Yeah, okay.
Very sensitive.
Hi, my question is, I was at a party Saturday night. I'm not usually in the habit of doing any kinds of drugs because I think I'm prone to a little bit of depression. And a lot of people there were smoking, and I couldn't get away. I didn't have a car with me. I had to sleep there overnight. And I swear to God, I've been high, but not a good high, just sick ever since then. And my head's been spinning. I haven't been able to focus very well. And
you didn't smoke any pot?
Well, I'm sure that I did by just by standing around, but not.
No,
don't do it.
No.
But I wonder if you just started getting anxious, having panic attacks or something.
No. I mean, it was a very small room. There was a lot of smoke, a lot of cigarettes, a lot of marijuana. That doesn't. You don't think that has any?
No,
it really doesn't.
No,
it's all in your mind.
Yeah.
But your mind can do tricks like that.
Although you do inhale a decent amount of atmospheric smoke. For instance, well, I'm sure you're aware that millions die each year from secondhand smoke.
I know that.
Millions of Americans.
Literally.
That is the #1 killer of people under 50. Secondhand smoke. Waitresses, average life expectancy 24 years old. Everyone dies of secondhand smoke. Actually, wait a minute. That was 2 years ago. Now nobody dies of secondhand smoke because they've decided to stop lying about it so much.
Or they're all dead, all the ones who were going to die.
Yeah, that's
All
what
four.
it is. Yeah, all 4 people that died of secondhand smoke. Oh, God, I want to kill people when I think about those campaigns.
Drew, is there a really sensitive? Because any time that I have smoked it, I felt kind of the same way. Just kind of sick for a couple days and not any kind of good high. Is there anything that at least? Is there a sensitive body type to pot? Is there?
Yeah, there's definitely some people that are adversely affected by it. Some people get really severe panic attacks from it, and those panic.
The medical term is lightus weightus. That's what they call that.
Yeah,
but if this is the way you characteristically feel when you've been exposed to that drug, then how can we deny that maybe you were exposed to enough to get that again? But I wouldn't worry that something permanent has developed. Although I have seen ongoing panic attacks in people that are exposed to even low levels of marijuana.
Liam, this one's in your head, not in your lungs. That's that would be my take.
Contact high is not true. That's not a real thing.
Not significant. Not really. Not
well,
an automobile.
I'll tell you what does happen. If you've been baked enough in your day and you're hanging around guys that are getting baked, it brings you back to the baked days, and you start thinking about it, and you have what you call a contact guy. That's fabulous radio, Andy. Andy's doing some good prop humor. All right. We found that Dub C drop? I can't remember what he called me. Yeah,
What's cracking, y'all? This Dub C for the West Side Connect gang. Y'all know there's still West Side on mine, chilling on the Loveline. Y'all know what time it is. Dub C, the shadiest one. Packing that pistola, chilling with my homeboy Ace Rockola. Fool, I thought you knew. Chilling with my homeboy Dr. Drew, the shadiest one. Listen to this. Turn it up. That's Rihanna.
Come again.
Dub C speaks backwards on occasion. All right, so we got Ace Rockola and we got Mayonnaise, all wearing the same pair of
Let's
shoes.
rock. Let's rock.
Robert.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Twin Peaks.
You're 16.
Yeah.
What's up?
I pierced my body.
You pierced your body?
Where?
Through the middle?
Huh?
Just right through the middle?
I guess it's like an arrow?
Yeah, pretty much.
They call it a spear. It's really a spear.
Yeah.
No, I've pierced my body, and the most recent piercing I've done was my penis.
Nice.
And
What part?
What?
What part?
Oh, it's really just skin and a little bit of flesh under the head of the penis.
Ouch!
Yeah, and
Not into it.
Is that your frenulum under there?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. All right, Robert. What happened? Who did what to you?
Well,
crap out of him.
I know what you mean. Like, I was molested once,
There
and
you go.
I've been, I guess what you would call sexually assaulted
Okay.
a couple of times throughout my younger years.
Right. All right.
That's what makes people do this.
Now you're acting out on yourself.
Yeah, and also I used to cut myself all over, and I don't do that no more. And I was kind of wondering also if the reason why I pierce my body is because it's another way of not cutting myself, I guess.
I think it's part of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And but my real question is the piercing supposed to give me more of an orgasm?
No,
Okay.
because it doesn't.
Okay.
Okay, so Robert.
Yeah.
Here's what we need to work on: the abuse of the past that's causing the pain and the acting out of today.
Right.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever got any therapy?
Yeah, and I'm actually against counselors, so
I
that
see.
didn't work too much.
All right. Well, as long as you're against getting better, that's fine.
No.
All right. Well, keep poking holes in yourself.
All right.
And we'll see you in hell. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks for calling. Hey, Robert.
Sweet. Yeah?
Listen, screwball.
Huh.
Listen, you need a counselor like nobody else. Believe me. Trust me on this one, brother. If you were sexually assaulted on numerous occasions when you were younger, and you're acting out now, and you need to work it out.
I have
Okay?
one. I have one.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know I do.
Hey, listen, Andy's got one in the car now, by the way. He travels with his.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's good times.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Robert?
Yeah.
Really? You're calling because you want help, and we're telling you, by all means, get it.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot.
Please.
All right.
Okay.
I pay mine by the week.
Hey, listen, it's got to be tough on guys. It was tough on women. It still is tough on women, but we're constantly talking about the shame and the humiliation and victims coming forward and all that kind of stuff. Think about a guy who was sexually molested and even how much more difficult that is for him to come forward.
Just think about me.
Yeah, you had someone diddle you when you were younger.
Well, call it what you will.
Yeah, what was it, a babysitter?
Yep.
Yeah. But look at you. It created, unlocked.
He didn't diddle me. I don't know even what that means, Adam.
What was it? What went on?
He twiddled me.
He twiddled
I don't know what diddled means.
I see. You don't want to be making light of your twiddling?
No, he didn't. He wanted us to play stick shift, and whoever made it to the finish line first would get a bowl of popcorn.
Wow. Popcorn ball or a bowl of popcorn? You know what I miss? You know what I miss? I don't miss much from my childhood, but I do miss the popcorn ball. And I don't know where that went, and if people still eat those, or if they've just gotten past that. Remember popcorn
that
balls?
was around Christmas.
Yeah, I
it was a
miss
Christmas
popcorn
treat.
balls. Someone's got to whip me up a popcorn ball.
I'll show you some popcorn balls.
All right.
Let's check in on Joe again, see what he sounds like here.
See if Joe's still asleep?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Wait a minute. That is not right. That is not real. Wait. I thought I heard him laugh.
No.
Sounds like a baby cow.
Joe's been on hold for 119 minutes.
Wake!
Don't wake him up.
Oh, I love him.
Tell him a bedtime
Wake
story.
him up. Wake up!
No, no.
Make
let's
a loud
listen.
noise.
Let's listen.
Sounds like our security guard.
Our security guard fell asleep out in the hall on the sofa a couple of weeks
Kidding.
ago. So
With that big gun?
I took a 20-foot mic cord and put it right by his head, and we listened to him snore all night.
Snore cam.
That's great radio. All right, we'll check in with Joe just one more time before we go to break.
It just doesn't even sound real.
All right, he heard that there was a new drug that got him high. Okay, one more time, and then we go to break. I can't get enough of this guy.
Whoa.
You know what's fun? It's fun, the timing, because sometimes you check in, he's right in the middle of one,
Right.
and then sometimes there's a long couple of beats.
Pause, yeah.
All right, let's see if we can time one. Let me see if I can time one just right. Uh-oh.
That was a little one. Wait, he's waking up. Wake up, wake up.
Andy, don't
Wake up, wake up.
Andy.
We want to wake him up.
Would you shut his goddamn mic off?
It's like an angry snore. He's angry now.
All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with more snoring, kiddies, after this. Yeah, it's the Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Andy Dick has joined us tonight. You can find him Sunday night, this Sunday at the House of Blues for the Spitfire Tour, trying to raise a little money for a worthy cause. Larry Flint, Bill Maher, Exene Cervenka, Joy will be there, and many other interesting people. Andy's going to play a couple of songs over there. And so will you not be at the Mint this Sunday,
We're gonna still try to do the Mint. We're gonna try to do both shows. It's gonna be hard.
I see. Well, if anyone can pull it off, Andy Dick. Andy and the Bitches of the Century will be airlifted out of the House of Blues about 8:10, 8:15, and dropped on the helipad on top of the Mint to make the 8:30 gig. I think they're going to play another ditty for us. Is that true, Andy?
It's our only hit. It's our only hit.
It is. All right. Well, wait a minute. Let's just check back with Joe, see if he's still snoring.
Good time. Maybe we should keep him on during our song. It might add.
Let's do it.
Let's see if we can do it. Little brown ring, why are you so sweet? Little brown ring, you're all stopped up, neat. I know you will F me up when you start to pucker up. Little brown ring, you're quite a nasty treat. Trepidation and sunset and vine. I needs me a vacation where that sun don't shine. That old yellow moon and me are gonna have ourselves a fling with your tiny tight white out of sight. Little brown ring. Ring. That's it. It's a short version. Okay.
We love you, Joe.
That is golden, Andy.
Thank you. I hope he shows up to the show.
No bigger fan of Andy Dick than Joe, 18, on line 3.
Stop it. It's like bad PR. Every time you say my name, he snores.
Don't just believe me as far as the Andy Dick and the Bitches of the Century being great. Let's hear what a critic has to say.
The critics agree.
The critics agree. The greatest night of entertainment. What? Yes.
It's not. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Is the Loveline the fastest 2 hours on radio? Let's hear what the callers think.
Oh, and he's not waking up. Oh.
It never gets old. I love it. Oh my God, Drew! Should someone breathe that fast?
He's fine.
A chipmunk doesn't. A squirrel doesn't breathe that fast. All right, I'm going to put Joe on hold. I could really go on. If we could get one of those guys who calls in and farts on demand and put him on the next line next to Joe, who snores on demand, I would. I'd just.
I'll write a song to it.
I would explode. Would you like to sample Joe for maybe an upcoming album?
Maybe we should. Can you record it for us?
Let's get a little. Let's get a little Joe. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that's my Joe.
That's my Joe. Let's take a legitimate call. There's people who need our help.
You saying Joe doesn't have problems? Liz?
Yes.
You're 19.
I have a question for you.
All right.
Okay, a friend of mine has a yeast infection in his mouth. Don't ask me how he got it. but I guess he brushes his teeth like 5 times a day.
No, Liz, he needs to see a doctor. That is a
No, he did.
that is a sign that his immune system isn't working normally, though. And
The doctor told him that he had to gargle with yogurt.
oh, that's bizarre. He did not see a doctor because there are easy treatments for this, no problem.
Yeah.
And it needs.
What are they?
You have to brush with gynolotrin.
There's two there's a mouthwash called nystatin, which is antifungal, and there's also a fluconazole, which you can take one pill of and will eradicate it completely.
Gargle with yogurt.
Yeah, that is.
No, it's true.
Liz, no, that's not what they told him. That's not what they told him. He did not see a medical doctor. And it's simply treated, and he needs a workup to see why he got this, because it's when I was in training, it was one of the hallmark signs of HIV. It was an otherwise healthy male with an oral thrush.
All right, he needs to go to a real doctor.
Dr. Drew said it could be HIV.
Well, no.
Well, he's never had sex.
No. Listen to me. In the old days, that was the kind. In the old days, when I was in training, that was what the thing we'd look for first, because it often means immune impairment. It also can mean he took a whole bunch of antibiotics recently. That could even predispose to it.
Liz, he needs to see a doctor that does not have a gong and a giant root hanging in the window. you understand?
Well, what I was going to ask you in the first place, now my answer has been, my question has been answered.
Yes.
Could you actually douche with that for a yeast infection in a woman?
No.
So, yeah.
Douche with yogurt?
Answered.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fruit on the bottom. All right. We'll speak to, no one has callers as dumb as us. Joe?
You got yeast in now.
I want to hear Joe.
We gonna make bread with it. Well, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's back. He is back. All right. Brian?
Yeah.
You're 15. What's up?
Yeah, I've been with my boyfriend for probably 3.5 months, and he is still in the closet, and we go to a very closed-minded school.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I've been out of the closet probably all 3 years in high school.
You're gay.
Yes.
I see.
Yes. Anyways, we've told a few of our closest friends, and we just now told our parents that we were together.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom loves him, and his mom loves me.
Mm-hmm.
But probably 2 nights ago, I went over there, and we were messing around, and I came down, and I had a hickey on my neck. And his mom flipped, even though she said she was okay with it.
Right.
How old is your boyfriend?
He's 16 also.
16?
Yeah.
Any mother would flip out whether it was a gay couple or a straight couple.
I'm glad Andy said that, not me.
But isn't that true?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's bizarre, Brian, that you're pushing this along so quickly.
You don't need to shove it in people's faces, I guess.
Well, no. I mean, okay.
People freak out on
heterosexual couples
wouldn't
have
do
to
that.
hide. Right.
They wouldn't do that hickey.
But his mom was more...
Let him give you a hickey on your butt. No one will see it.
Well, one of my bigger questions was, he's having problems trying to come out to the rest of the school. His mom wants us to be discreet about it, and he doesn't really want to.
But that's fine too.
It's up to
you
him.
know, yeah. I think you should, just keep it quiet. I wish I would have just kept my damn mouth shut about my sexuality. I really do. Well, I don't think it's helping anybody, and it definitely hurts me. People. I got bashed the other week.
Really?
You know that? Yeah. Somebody said, "You're." He was with a couple cute young blonde girls, and he was a tall, like he was some other. He was from some other country, but he said, "You're he's bisexual." And the girl's like, "Shut up." And he's like, "No, seriously, he is. And I said, and we were on an elevator. And I said, right as I waited for the doors to open, and I said, "And you're large." And he pushed me, and he said, "I'm going to kick your ass."
He did not say that.
He did, and he pushed me really hard, and he started to get into it, but I'm not going to run. I just went off.
Faggot better run. Excuse, did you scare him? Did you?
Oh yeah, I scared the crap out of him. I started screaming and running, and then he started running to his car, and then I had my friend Ed waiting in his car to pick me because I can't drive. I don't have a license anymore. And that guy right over there, Ed, came around the corner, but he was already afraid because I'm like, "Come on, let's go, let's do it." And he ran to his car, and Ed and I both chased him to his car. And
maybe he thought you meant sex. No?
No.
All right. The upside is he got 8 songs out of it. All right, we're going to take ourselves a break. Let's just check with Joe on hold for 130 minutes. Huh? That's my Joe. We'll be back.
Yes, we're back. Way to go, Andy. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I just want to hear if we've still connected with Joe here. Joe?
He hung up.
He's turned over. He's hung up.
Joe, are you there?
Oh, we lost him. Damn. Well, show's a wash. Ruined.
There he is.
But, Andy, thank you for coming. Andy Dick and Bitches of the Century.
Thank you.
Can see you guys at the Mint at 6010 West Pico, 7:30 every Sunday night, right?
Yeah. 8:30 really every
show.
Sunday.
And Nick Nolte will be there every single Sunday.
No, but in Spitfire Tour, of course, at House
Spitfire
of
Tour.
Blues.
And, yeah, whatever anybody thinks about that, it's I suspect everybody just sort of tired of it. I mean, the whole controversy about marijuana.
Pot? Yeah, people are over it.
Well, I think so. But we'll see. The Spitfire Tour is out there, and that will include Andy Dick, Larry Flint, Bill Maher,
Perry Farrell,
Perry Exene, a joy,
Michael Franke,
and
of Spearhead.
And Adam has split tonight.
Yeah, he
so
had
I'm
to
glad to
go.
show it. Andy, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you,
You're welcome
Doctor.
anytime.
You are my unofficial personal doctor.
And friend.
And friend.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, on behalf of Andy Dick and Adam Carolla, this is Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
I just wanted to see the wet pink stick.
Well, now. This has been Loveline. The stuff expressed on Loveline is not necessarily the stuff of the staff, management, sponsors, or anyone else, including Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingold. Now, please enjoy these birds.